Contractions feel like they begin as period-like cramps. Then they start to come wrapping around. They may start in your lower abdomen or they may start in your lower back, and they start to wrap around. So everything gets tight. Braxton Hicks are those earlier contractions that you may have early on in pregnancy, where they're just more focused on your abdomen or higher up on your abdomen, and they usually go away with change of position. But contractions, they tend to not go away if you change your position, but walking tends to make them increase. A movement starts to make them increase, or if they start getting stronger and closer together, you know those are really the true labor contractions. Labor depends on the woman. If it's a first time mom, it's not uncommon for them to go 20 hours sometimes in labor. Second time mom, sometimes up to 14 hours, but it depends. If it's a first time mom or if it's a mom of multiple, it depends. Sometimes the baby do pops out before the midwives come, but not literally pop out, but it's born before the midwife gets there. But in any time, just remain calm. The midwife, I'm sure, is going to be on the way, but you are to remain calm and then, call the midwife on the phone, have the midwife on speakerphone, FaceTime the midwife, and the midwife will talk you through that process. But the number one thing is to remain calm for the mom and the baby. Pain relief for home birth clients is guided imagery, relaxation, meditation, soft music. You may have a doula for support or your partner for support. Do counter pressure, different changes in position. Those are all good methods of pain relief during the home birth process. Keeping your placenta is an option in home birth. Some women keep their placenta and they bury it for to plant a tree, or some women may encapsulate the placenta, meaning that they will dry it out. They put it in capsule that they usually take over a course period of time. But encapsulated placenta has been shown to have some benefits with postpartum depression and also with breastfeeding with breast milk supply. So your body will let you know. You just have to pay attention to what the midwife is telling you. Most of the time you use your abdominal muscles like you're doing a crunch. And a lot of times we are going to tell you, like you're pushing the biggest poop out that you ever pushed out. So it's basically a coordination between your abdominal muscles and pushing. We don't want you pushing too fast because we don't want you to tear the perineum. So it's a guided, slow pushing process, unlike in the hospital where it's counting, and counting may help you. We may get to that point where we have to count, but you will find your position that you're comfortable in to push in. And for first time moms, it takes some time before they get that coordination, but they will get it. They will get it. Sure, dad can catch the baby. I love it when dad catch the baby. It just make a more stronger bond between the child and that baby and the dad. Some people think they should be on a time schedule for breastfeeding. Breastfeeding should always be on demand. So anytime that baby has cues that they are hungry, breastfeed that baby. So bathing, usually babies are just wiped off. You're not supposed to submerge the baby underwater until the umbilical cord has completely fall off and the area has completely dried up. I think that the home birth community, it would be more awesome if we could integrate it into the medical model of care. If the doctors in the hospital weren't so afraid of the natural physiologic birth process and understand that we are here to help women and we know signs to look out for. Not every woman is a candidate, but we are here also to educate these women. So some may not be a candidate for home birth and have to use the medical model of care, but we can educate them on their options about childbirth. The long-term effects of home birth, I think, is building a stronger family unit as a whole. You have a more connection with the mom and dad, and also being that the mom is mainly the head of the household when it comes to making choices or decision, a home birth can just help that trickle down. Like if a mom has to change their diet, the whole family's changing their diet after their home birth. Or if they exercising more, the whole family is exercising for more. So it's a trickle effect, like a domino effect. Some of the myths about home birth is that we don't care for our patients properly. We don't have medical equipment. It's dangerous, but I feel that even if it's a hospital birth, you have the risk there because you're more at risk for interventions, unnecessary interventions that may lead to unintended C-section or unwanted C-section or unneeded C-section. What made me come up with the name Gifted Hands Midwifery? When I was in midwifery school, we did a budget project on how to build your own birth center. And my name was Gifted Hands Midwifery because I felt that my hands were gifted, being a part of the birth process. And one of God's greatest miracle is birth. So I just wanted my hands to be gifted. So every baby or mom that I come in contact with them, I wanted them to feel that innate feeling and love that's a gift from God. Many physicians never have the chance to witness a physiologic birth, meaning a medicated birth. So they don't know what to look for or even the different cues that women go through as they go through the different labor process, like first stage, active stage, when they're transitioning. So they don't know how women may express themselves. So I think there's more of a fear there because they can't control it. I think it's a need for them to control birth and then instead of just let birth happen and unfold naturally like it's supposed to. Midwifery care is not expensive because we can work with our moms with a payment plan. But like midwives, we unfortunately we do have to make a living for our family as well. Um, we don't take insurance. Some communities, some states do allow midwives to use insurance to bill for the services, um, but most of the time it's an out-of-pocket expense. So we do make payment arrangements to help mom pay for home birth. As a home birth midwife, I do encourage all moms to, make it a point to save up for a doula. A doula is like an epidural, but we call them epidoulas because they are there as your support person, beginning labor, during labor, and after labor. They are there to help you through your fears and also provide comfort measures for you, and also to help your partner to provide comfort measures for you during your birth process and your birth journey. They are also there after birth to help with breastfeeding because breastfeeding can be challenging, especially if your baby may have had a tongue tie. It can be difficult for baby to latch properly. So hiring a doula is one of the best investments that you can invest in for a home birth. Some common herbs that are used in home birth are nettles, red raspberry, loose leaf tea, oat straw, alfalfa. All those herbs are nourishing to the body. Oat straw is often helpful with milk production. Alfalfa is good for the cardiovascular system. And nettles is just nourishing, all nourishing herbs that helps with many common discomforts during pregnancy. It can also help with swelling, just many aches and pains that you may have. So those are some good herbs that you could take during pregnancy. So usually the herbs are combined, which we call Nora tea, which is the nettles, the oat straw, the red raspberry loose leaf tea, and alfalfa. And the most important thing that you could do that may stop many ailments during pregnancy or many disease that may come up in pregnancy is having a good balanced nutrition. So proper nutrition, eating lots of green leafy vegetables, fresh fruits, getting good protein in, and also hydration. I can't express that enough. Hydration is important. I think it's awesome that, I have children that has been around the birth process, and also for other children that are involved in home birth, because it's, like I said, one of God's greatest miracle on earth. So it's not nothing to be fearful of. Home birth just make it more part of a family unit, and having children involved makes it better for children to transition to those new siblings that are coming along. So, a goal as a midwife in a home birth service is to help mom have a positive birth experience and a birth journey. But it's not all the time that you may have a home birth. So you have to keep in mind the alternative. Sometimes we have to transfer to the hospital if, it's starting to get beyond our scope of practice, or if we're seeing that something is happening that we can't control. So our ultimate goal is to have a home birth, but don't get fixated on a home birth. Always have an alternative in mind, because if you have that home birth in your mind and then you have to transfer, it can lead to different things postpartumly, meaning postpartum depression, because you feel that you didn't experience what you were wanting to experience. So always keep your options open. But our goal is for you to have a beautiful birth experience at home. If you have to transfer to a hospital, we will go with you to be your support personnel and an advocate in the hospital setting.